I did it. Come on in, everybody. We see you out there. It's time for another Comics by Night. Yeah. It's early Friday morning for me, middle of the morning for Glenn and Russ. We don't know who else is going to be here, but I'm
high on sugar and coffee already.
There we are. I got a little coffee. So we're here to look at Simonson one more time. Here we go. We're gonna at least one more time. So here's the opening.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with ewill.
And the disclaimer.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
Yep. Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case we say something bad. Oh,
I removed me. I meant to enlarge me. Here we are.
You cancelled yourself.
I did. We'll see how that goes later. So
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I'm Scott Adams all over again. Oh boy. We are looking at the IDW Artisan Edition. Listen to that as that spine cracks.
Oh.
Walter Simonson, Manhunter, and other stories. We're here to look at the other stories today. We've looked at Manhunter for the last 2 episodes. Now we have some great other stories to look at. And the first one's a Batman story.
Which doesn't look like him at all. Not Batman.
It's very Neil Adams, isn't it?
Yeah.
He seems very happy, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's a happy Batman.
Yeah, for a change.
This is from Detective Comics 450.
When so it's mid-70s.
Yep, it's 70s. It's literally 7 issues after his Manhunter story.
He enjoys drawing the lettering, doesn't he? I mean, he's got that big Batman at the top as part of it.
It's good, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He seems to be using a lot thicker pen. It's a lot thicker line weight.
I would say
on that work here.
Yeah.
Well, that's his newer stuff, but he has since gone back to his other pen. But the material he was doing before, not quite as heavy as this.
I would say that Batman looks more, rather than Neil Adams, it looks more Barry Windsor Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of those influences here.
And the cross hatching as well on the cape.
Yeah.
Very nice, though.
Oh, it's some great shots, I think, in this.
I'd hang it on my wall.
They did this, yeah. The Cape and Cowl Death Trap. Elliot S. Megan. Writer, Walt Simonson. Drawing.
It has some great angles, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like him at all.
That long panel there is sort of a Steranko Ditko type of thing, isn't it?
The middle one, yeah.
Slam.
Has anybody seen that movie from the early 2000s called The Spirit?
Oh yeah.
It was awful, but but visually, I watched it last night while I was sitting sketching.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was an awful film. But it was, although Samuel L. Jackson made it, always makes it worth watching.
True.
Visually, it was incredibly compelling. It was somewhere between Batman '89 and Sin City.
Oh yeah,
right.
And even down to the music as well.
Yeah.
And I found it, bearing in mind the glut of cinema we've had in the last 15 years, I actually found it quite refreshing to watch because it was different.
Okay.
It was just so very different So sorry, it just the white out on there made me think of the tie, because it's the tie is animated. It's like a red tie that's flying around.
Yep.
They were really strong on the visuals on that film,
Mhm.
and just like and that was it. And there was a removals truck in it, and it had Ditko's removals on the side, which I thought was really cool. Sorry, it's just you said Ditko and and the image as well, because it had this white out in it, and it all came back to me from like last night. Yeah, lots of great visuals.
I went to the theater and watched that movie.
Oh, well, never mind. You won't get that money back.
Yeah.
I at least watched it for free on Amazon.
I've got a copy of it on DVD.
Was it as good as Happy Feet?
I haven't seen Happy Feet. Sorry.
I'll tell you the story about that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
I don't have that frame of reference.
You know, you can call it like it was hammy. It was obviously wasn't really like the Spirit at all. But it was compelling visually. It was quite cool, and I have to say it was something that was very simple and straight up and straightforward, and much like fun comics, it was easy to follow.
Yeah.
And told a story, and that was it. It didn't have, it wasn't presumptuous.
Who directed it?
I don't know.
Oh, that was Mr. Frank Miller.
Oh, really? Really? Well,
yeah.
Wait, look.
The two good things, and he was doing interviews in a fedora, telling everybody how he knew Eisner, and that Eisner would not want him to do Eisner's Spirit. He wanted him to do Miller's Spirit. So
right. Well, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, and you should see some of those interviews.
Right.
Are rather, I would say, a little cringy.
Yeah.
I think
he is a little cringy.
Gotten a little bit of help since then, I think.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good visuals in there, and it did remind me of comic books. I mean, it did a good job of being a comic book on screen, which is, like I say, it's somewhere between Batman 89 and obviously Miller doing it. It was Sin City, but it's great, and it's just that panel in the middle, because obviously you mentioned Ditko, and then I remember Ditko was on the side of that van, which was quite cool. But also the white out, and just like the general sense of design that you got from artists of this time. Yeah, and it's hard to articulate just the impact that their work had.
That goes back to that look, especially this year. Yeah. There's a lot of and I just blanked on his name. I'm sorry, but the artists that worked with Don McGregor on and Steve Englehart on that run of Batman. So the Marshall Rogers. Right. There's a lot of Marshall Rogers look in this. And I think Rogers at the time was doing a run of Detective Comics with Steve Englehart. So there's a lot of that influence here. Yeah. Look at those explosions. Very different.
Yeah, they're quite, those explosions are so graphic, aren't they? When I say graphic, I mean as in graphical.
Yeah. Look at that top panel. Those faces don't look like Simonson at all, do they?
No. And I was looking at that left-hand panel on the left-hand page. Top left. That doesn't. No.
Yeah.
Looks like Baron Harkonnen on Dune, doesn't it? That guy?
It sure does. Yeah, it does. The two good things I took out of the Spirit movie was his treatment of the Spirit as a comic book type character, and that he was so invulnerable. And the second thing is that because the Spirit movie didn't do well in the box office, it kept Miller from doing his next project. He was going to do Buck Rogers next.
Oh,
and I'm like, whew.
That was a let off then.
That's like the Ava DuVernay doing New Gods to me.
It was like,
is that in turnaround? Finally, thank you.
This it came across. Do you remember that Sky Captain and the thingy of Tomorrow, whatever it was, with forgotten his name, the pretty boy,
Jude Law, was it?
Jude Law, that's it. Yeah. And it was all done. It was like computer generated backgrounds before they did that kind of thing all the time. Yeah. Obviously they'd done it, but it was it wasn't a common thing. Yeah. And that film was crap, really. But
Yeah.
but I could not stop watching it because the visuals were just fun. That it was just a cracking sort of like watch, you know.
Was it Nicole Kidman as well?
I think it was. Yeah,
Angelina Jolie was in that as well.
Oh, was she? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so the spirit was a bit like that, and I suppose in essence, sometimes comics can be like that, because we all know that the best comics are a marriage of a great script, a great story, and great art.
Yeah.
But there are times, especially from my perspective, because I'm so shallow, that I will pick up a comic and think this story is crap, but I'll keep going back and looking through it because the art's so damn good.
Yeah.
That isn't always necessarily that it's the greatest storytelling art, just that the art itself is beautiful.
Yeah.
Which I suppose says a lot about film as well, because again, if you're not telling a good story, then the art isn't doing what it's supposed to do.
I
just visually, it just, you know.
I had this conversation. The other day with Ted Davis about this kind of stuff, about the art. The art's great, but they just pin ups and things like that.
Yeah. A lot of the art nowadays tends to look very similar to each other.
Yeah.
I think for a while there, about 10 years ago, I saw that particularly Marvel, because DC tended to have a house style. Everybody tried to look like Jim Lee, which made me think like it was like the 90s again, because everybody wanted to look like Jim Lee then as well, which is a noble you know, cause, but nobody, you shouldn't want to look like everybody else. No. But 10 years ago, I thought Marvel was bringing some different art. I could see lots of different styles and different things going on. And in the last 5 years, so much of it seems to look very similar again, sort of a bit blobby in some cases.
Yeah.
I notice a lot of shading gets done, and I look at the shading and I think, why did you shade there? What's the point? Where's the light source? What's going on there? And an awful lot of the ink seemed to be left a little light and sparse, and the color seems to fill in, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that's just some of that's personal preference, obviously. You can't say it's bad art. The most important thing is the storytelling aspect, which is why we're looking at things like this, because the storytelling is so damn good.
Yeah.
Oh. Here we go. That's a bit more Adams, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
It's having a little fun there.
It's like you said, the line is very, very thick on these pages, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It is a thick old line.
It's a lot thicker line weight.
Yeah.
Must have used a thicker pen. That's all I could figure.
Yeah.
But he's definitely working on a style here.
He only had a felt tip.
Yeah.
Still managed to look better than 99% of everyone else.
Probably. No, it's a thicker ink nib. It's not a felt tip, or you'd see little blops at the end, depending upon the type of board he was using.
Maybe it's an old pen. I mean, something I've noticed is I use brush pens, and the finer brush pens I use, they tend to get a bit fatter as you use them, and you have to throw them away and pick up a new one. And sometimes you'll do a page and you think, oh, it's a little bit thicker on the line, and it's simply just that the pen's got a bit old.
Yeah.
Look at that finger coming out.
Yeah.
You see on a lot of, if you look at John Byrne's Wonder Woman, when he did Wonder Woman for a while, he did that with a flare pen.
Oh, right.
And you can see the ink gathering at the point where he stops and lifts up off of the pen.
Right.
Yeah.
Just enough to notice, you know. That's not something that it interrupts the story at all, but it's something that anybody who's done it would know, you know, and any artist would notice that, oh, you used a flare pen on that. That's
if you look at that page there with Batman with the finger, it's very, the panels, the run, look at the run of the sequence of the panels, it's quite disjointed, isn't it?
He's actually grabbing the gutter.
Yeah, the sudden changes, the whole page, the sudden changes in angle are a bit sharp. Do you understand what I mean? Not that it's not good, because it's brilliant, but I'm just saying the actual
jarring.
shots, yeah,
Jarring.
jarring. That's the word.
Yeah.
He's probably doing that on purpose. I don't know, but
He probably is. Yeah, because he's got boom,
yeah,
going this way, up at an angle, up at a different angle, up at an
I'm-
even more harder angle, and
I'm
even
gonna-
more
I'm gonna-
harder angle.
I'm going to change what I said. That page is brilliant.
Yeah,
It is brilliant. Yeah,
it is.
I think sometimes I know what you're saying about the angles, and I think sometimes, as we've said with all these like really seriously genius level artists, is so much of it is done on gut,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and he'll have he'll have thought, what's the most entertaining angle? What's working for it? It may be that he thought this page might have been a little bit dull,
yeah.
so he thought, I'm going to put in some extreme angles,
But he's got to make it fun for himself as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
exactly.
And
Yep.
that last thing with all the machinery on it, that's great.
That's a great panel. Yeah,
And the panel with him walking through the on the left of that, no, the
Focus
left,
on the hand.
far left with the shadow being
Oh, here, yeah,
that one. I love that panel. And so like you say, you can be sort of a bit subjective about it and look at it and go, oh, those angles are a bit on the jarring side. And I agree, they are. But then at the same time, it's like the page is just brilliant.
Yeah.
It's just so lovely to look at. He's done such a fantastic job, and the spotting of the blacks on this particular page are magnificent.
and if you read the dialogue in this, Batman is also just a little bit bored.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's
He-
it. Yeah.
He walks into the warehouse, he's looking, and he goes, apparently my playful poet left that storeroom door open for me to get curious about it. He wants me to step inside. So after a suitable period of nosing about, I'll oblige you.
So there you go. So
And then
maybe he was reading the script and thinking, this needs a little bit of pep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Turns up the heat intensity.
Because it's not like he tries to put, rad angles in everything just for the sake of it. He
Right.
doesn't. I mean, look at the page on the left. There's quite a few flat angles. I mean, obviously the bottom right is amazing. That's
Succession
fantastic.
of panels. Yeah.
But the top sort of 6 panels, they're all fairly flat.
Yeah.
He's telling a story there or whatever. He's
straight on.
he's changing up the distances.
Yeah.
And the grades of background, midground, foreground. He's changing those up in order to keep it interesting.
Mhm.
And also a rather lovely crop through that guy's head on the 5th panel. But at the same time, it's a fairly flat sort of angle. And then it jars. You go straight onto this next page. And of course, the jarring part of that page is straight off. It's those bottom 3 panels where the action starts.
Yeah.
So there's no action. All it is Batman traversing the city.
Mhm.
But he's making it interesting. So you've got this flat page all the way down to those 3 panels, and then bang into the page on the right.
Yeah.
And it's full on. Like these angles are like everywhere. So, as much as it might be just straight out of his gut, it's also genius interpretation of making the flow and exciting you at the same time as a reader.
Right.
I mean, he's not doing anything on that right-hand page.
No.
He's just
walking
flying through this.
Literally
he's-
walking, coming in and walking through
Yeah.
a door. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yet it's like it's generating visual excitement.
Yes.
So it's brilliant.
And even without reading the script, that this guy is Bruce Wayne because he looks so much like Christian Bale.
Yeah. He's
Christian Bale will be about 5 then, wouldn't he? When this
He's
came
got
out?
a cracking
Probably
haircut
not
there
even
as
born
well.
yet. Yeah.
That's a full-on haircut. How's he going to put that in the cowl? Surely he's going to
well.
be lumpy on the top.
He
Well,
just
he's the
stuffs it
Batman,
in there
he's-
and doesn't worry about it. He's Bruce effing Wayne. He could just call his beautician to come over. I need a workup. There is a lot of paste in going on here.
Yeah.
Right there, that was a paste in. Right
Wow.
there's a paste in. And that's that looks like your Adams
Yeah.
Batman there, very much so.
I think we said this last week. Some of these pages are like the Steranko Shield, the way they've been reworked a lot. Seems to be a lot of hands on it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, getting it right,
Of course, yeah.
still just starting out. But this is kind of funny. This reminds me a lot of Get Smart.
Yeah.
Slam, clang, boom, thud. He's just
That's
looking
12
around.
panels.
All these doors are closing.
It's 12 panels he's got there.
I guess he doesn't want me to leave.
I love the way that works, sort of like a jigsaw.
Yeah.
Go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and then the bottom right.
It's very followable, though.
Yeah.
You know, right there, and then that way, and then back up here and down. Lettering really guides you through it. And then out.
Well, I mean, I saw it straight away. You know,
Yeah.
left top, left top, left top, left. You know, and then the last one. It worked.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
I'd like to see what
made
was drawn.
that succession of the story. It's just
I'd like to see what was drawn underneath those 2 last panels for them to replace it like that.
It probably wasn't happy with the figure.
Yeah, he probably just didn't like it. Yeah, that is that Batman looking up there. That's very Adams.
That's very very Adams. Yeah. And again, conversation and an ass shot.
Nice ass.
Boom.
Well, not so nice.
Not so nice ass shot. Nice, not so nice ass shot.
I like big butts, and I can't not lie. I don't actually, but there you go.
Tell you what, I'll swap stories with you.
It's a talking butt.
A talking butt. Collects cowls, apparently.
Oh, look at that.
It's a nice, friendly advertising pose.
It's a very different way of drawing Batman.
Again, this face has been cut in, redrawn.
Yeah. It's the way he's made him look more like a bat there than he normally looks.
Yeah.
Looks like a homage to the original bat sign, doesn't it?
Yeah. And he's got very short ears.
Yes.
Yep.
Could you flip back for a minute and show that panel that we thought looked most Adams like?
Oh, it's got short ears.
Yeah.
Might have done that on purpose.
He's got little shorty ears there. When was this drawn? Do you know?
75, I think.
Yeah, this is 75.
Right. Okay.
It's Batman Detective Comics 450, and
so
we just got done looking at 443.
Yeah. So, like, you know, over 10 years before Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I would say this is a fill-in story because he's still at that stage, you know, that he doesn't have a regular gig.
And he's still got the small ears on the cowl on the wall on the third panel there. Yeah.
Yep.
It's almost Catman ears.
Yeah.
Catman. Yeah. Very unusual leg.
Yes, that's not the greatest kick, I'll be honest.
Not quite the Ugg boots that you see from Jim Lee.
No. Yeah, there's a little bit of a finer ankle there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is, I mean, the way Jim Lee draws legs is quite attractive. It's like it's nicely done. But I find that when I try and do something similar, I get hung up on the fact that the ankles are too big.
Yeah.
And I just can't do it.
And you almost expect the toes to bend over.
Yeah.
It's almost cartoony looking here.
God, that's a hell of a throw.
It is, isn't it?
That's a hell of a throw just from grabbing hold of his ankle.
So he's grabbing a 14-stone guy by his ankle and throwing him 20 feet in the air.
Nice.
Wow. That's some strength there.
I should try that technique.
I love the forced anatomy here.
Yeah.
The larger hand reaching for the knife.
Yeah, it's a bit janky.
It's a little bit floating in the air. This knife is.
Well,
because of the shadow down there.
The four the forced perspective there. It isn't quite right.
Yeah, but it works for the story.
It's weird.
As is this arm.
Yeah.
Still getting the hang of things, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, it's inspirational seeing him do stuff.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you throw me, so I'll throw a table at you. Here we go. Knock you off your ass. get into a little fight. Ooh,
Look at that! Wow.
Viscera right there. That's
Yeah,
kind of an
It's pretty
angry
visceral,
Batman.
isn't it? Yeah.
Look at those
There you go.
teeth.
You go back one page. Levi's asked a question.
That almost looks like Gil Kane there.
Yeah.
In a way, the 60s Gil Kane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I suppose you can see a skull on his knee.
Levi says at that bottom left panel, Batman, which is t-shirt worthy, in my opinion. Anyone else see the skull on his knee? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right there. Eyes, nose, bottom of the mouth. Precursor to Punisher. Thanks, Levi. Nice to see your list. You're watching this morning. Bristolian Dave in the house. All right, me blabbers.
Your item has been shipped.
Bristolian. Hello, how is your day, Punk Lee? Doing well, Punk. Early in the morning for us. Mid-morning for Glenn and Russ.
All my
Your
posters have been shipped.
Your item has shipped.
Yeah, all my posters have been shipped. There you go.
Which posters did you get?
For the book 2 of Only Death Can Save Us.
Oh, cool.
All the posters have been shipped to me from the printer.
There you go.
I'll get a proof copy on Wednesday, I think, and if all is well, it'll go to print next week.
I hope it gets there because I sent some stuff to the US about 6 weeks ago, and they're just arriving now.
Oh no, this is local.
Right.
This will be Mixam UK.
Right.
Did Jason finally get his book?
No, he didn't
text me about it. Yeah.
No, he hasn't. I sent him the PDF so he could read it at least.
Yeah.
But it isn't. The last time I tracked it, it was in Chicago, and he said that was just near him. So
it's about 5 hours away.
Right. So
that's between you and Paris, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I just got some books from JD. The last book I worked on for Unstoppable Comics. I didn't have a copy, so he sent me a couple of copies over. I think that only took about a week.
Wow.
So.
A week and probably $5,000. But anyway,
yeah.
Those shipping rates are just crazy.
Love that bat symbol in the middle of the page.
Yeah.
In the gutter. That's great.
Nice work.
That panel, that punch is really fantastic, isn't it? It's really hurting him. That.
He should look worse.
He should do. Yeah, his nose should be flat, shouldn't it?
Absolutely.
I guess it would all depend on what the little parts here, the viscera was in color. If that was red, that would look.
He's absolutely punishing him.
Yes.
No shit.
There's that skull again on his knee.
I like that. See the top right panel on the right hand page. I surrender. We've already established that.
And then Commissioner Gordon turns up just after the fighting.
Yeah.
They're probably listening to him outside,
Yeah, let him finish.
Yeah. We knew you were beating the shit out of him, and we didn't want to interrupt.
That Gordon in the second panel reminds me of sort of Mike Grell. What's he called? The guy with the bow and arrow, green arrow. Looks like that guy.
Yeah. Only older. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's Batman's kind of smiling. Yep. Beat the crap out of him. Thanks. It's Batman with a little attitude there. Yeah, we already established that. And the way he walked into that room knowing it was a trap, like, I'll just do it. What the heck?
I don't like it where they explain.
Oh, the exposition here?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, that was an easy death trap to get out of if you had a little bit of wax and my glove. Yeah. That's what the utility belt's for, right? The ultimate writing device. It's the end of the story, the reclaiming of the cowl.
Isn't that weird that with that cowl on that chair?
Yeah.
Really strange.
Almost looks like he's got a big mouth there.
Yeah.
Oh, Doctor's gone. Look at that.
The man's not human. It took a devil from hell to catch me. Yeah. And he is the devil from hell. Look at that. Here's work I haven't looked at in decades. This Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate.
That's definitely more Simonson.
I've got a copy of this, a hard copy of it when it came out, and I remember staring at it for a while because of the work in it. But it's been a while since I picked it up. The indicia has fallen off, though it was marked in blue.
Nice logo, that Dr. Fate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice
yeah.
typeface.
I think they ended up running with that logo for quite a while.
Yeah.
And
It's
I'm
lovely.
sure he just drew it up there in the corner. Does Dr. Fate have a logo? No. Okay. It's got one now. Here we are.
Proper
So-
70s, that is.
Yeah.
And
very
that does carry on, only they capitalized the D.
Right.
They had, and the F. The F's capitalized. I'm looking at my Superpowers action figure of Dr. Fate. here
Yeah,
on
I
my
had
wall.
some Dr. Fate comics when they sort of brought him back in the 90s. And I'm pretty sure that was the logo, but with caps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I can turn my camera, I think, and show it.
Avec la forfait near entreprise.
You can't see it. I've got it.
Oh, yeah, I can see it. Yeah, can see it.
Wow.
Yeah, we can see it.
I'm being offered phone services from France.
Oh, well, you need those.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Allons-y.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what happened? What are you doing?
Oh, I don't know. I can't get it to bend back. And,
Keep it still. Don't fiddle with your camera when we're on live. No.
we're having an earthquake as we speak. There we go.
That's it.
That's it.
Got
Don't
it.
move it.
That's it.
Too late. She already looked.
We've already been mooned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too late. We've already been mooned. Old reference, kids. Anyway.
Don't take the picture, Ethel. Too late. She already looked.
Don't look at those. It's too late. She's already been mooned.
Oh dear. Boogity.
Yeah, that's right, folks. It's early in the morning. Comics by night.
Yeah. Old guys talking. Anybody under the age of 45 won't understand that reference.
What the hell were they
whatsoever.
talking about? The moon stuff. Yeah. There we go.
I like that almost Japanese flag behind the cowl as well on the chair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The rising sun thing.
Well, it's something to put in the background. I suppose he felt he had to put something in.
Yeah.
Probably.
He didn't want to draw a wall, so he just drew.
No. He could have just left it without anything, couldn't he? It could have
Yeah.
been fine, but
It's bringing the focus to the cowl.
Yeah.
So. Absolutely. Meanwhile, it's Dr. Fate. Often has the crystal orb of Naboo cast its awesome radiance over this land. But
often.
never before this night has it shone with such urgency, such foreboding. And he's surfing
He's surfing the power.
on the light. He's surfing on the light. It portends the struggle I have dreaded all my life.
Has anybody watched that latest one, Black Adam?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I haven't watched it. I know very little about the film apart from The Rock is in it. But Dr. Fate's costume looked quite good.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan
Yeah. I mean,
Played,
that looked, yeah.
played Kent. Yeah, it was
that
very
looked
good.
quite impressive.
Yep.
I will watch that. I mean, I think most of the criticism I've heard about the film is the kind of stuff I actually like. It's mindless.
The biggest complaint is that it was
Sounds
too
about
much
right.
of a comic book movie, and it's like,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Give it to me. Give it to
Yeah.
me now. So I will be watching that film. I think obviously I'll take it as an individual film because we're not going to see any of those guys again.
That,
No,
That lettering at the bottom there, that ARG thing, is very 60s, 70s, early 70s, isn't it?
That's
Sure
a
is.
typeface, isn't
I'm
it?
going to say it also.
No,
it looks
that's
like
hand drawn in there.
Are you sure? Those G's are very, very alike.
It is. It looks. It's got a little tape mark here.
Right.
I think
That's
think that-
probably rubber cement.
I think that's letter set.
Little tape there.
It's either letter set or he's traced each G precisely, because they're exactly the same, aren't they?
I don't know about that.
No, they are a bit different. If you look at the first G and the last G.
Yeah, they are slightly different.
Yeah.
Well, then in that case, he's traced them, because that's definitely a typeface.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with tracing them, which is probably why it's been stuck down. If he's traced it somewhere else and then laid it down.
Yeah.
Lord in heaven.
Good Lord in heaven.
This wham is
God.
definitely done by hand.
Yeah, that wham is definitely done by hand. Whammo.
Whammo.
Wham.
You wham. At last we meet, student of
Oh,
Naboo.
what a great last panel that is. That's brilliant.
Since that wise one's mind, it's linked with yours. So do you recognize me? Gaze on me and know the fearsome power you have unleashed. Blessed. Oh, Rumzid. Anyway.
Kremazad. Krems.
It's like he's Biden or something. The old age prophecy comes true. Callus lives. It's a great face.
He's dead.
Terror, death, and flatness right there.
Vacant. That's really good.
Nice hair here as well. Like we talked before, there's no defining line. It's just hair. Right there. Same thing with the hairline here.
You can see the
Doesn't need one.
you can see the grease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the
Sheen.
what did they used to use, Glenn? Back in the 50s, what was it? My granddad. Brill cream. That's it. My granddad. used it,
Yeah. My dad used to use Brill cream.
Real men use Brill cream.
Yeah.
I wish I had enough hair to put Brill cream in.
I was never a real man in that case.
No.
Even when I had some hair.
No. When I was growing up, it was gel.
Real men used bacon grease. Come on.
It was gel where your hair ended up sticking up in the air because it was crispy.
Like alfalfa
Yeah.
on the R gang.
I don't.
No?
What's the R gang?
Okay, that's too early of a reference.
Yeah.
Sorry. Spanky and our gang? No.
Spanky.
Okay.
That sounds spicy.
That's a kid group back in the back in early cinema days. Yeah, Alfalfa was the guy who had just a lick of hair on top of his head.
Oh no.
Okay. I might have to pull up that reference just
a lick of hair, like the lead dwarf from Wizard of Oz.
Like the guy that was on Saturday Night Live.
With a what were those munchkins? That's what they were, munchkins, and the ones with the hard nuts.
The hard
They had
nuts.
broad New York accent. And they just had a little kiss curl, completely bald, one little kiss curl in the middle. Yeah, that's how they were.
Let me find a good picture of him here. That's pretty good. Let's pull that in. That's where the
Don't move the book again.
No, I'm not moving the book.
Don't move it. But
Sorry,
it's
that was a
perfect.
bad idea, moving that camera to the wall.
It's
So
not
I won't
now.
do that again.
It's perfect now. Don't move it.
Yep.
That is actually the best angle you've ever had. There's no flare or anything. That's perfect.
Well, good. I think this side here looks a little dark, but
No, it's fine.
Could be.
Don't let anybody into the studio. Don't move. Don't eat. Nothing.
that's our gang.
Oh, right.
Kid on the end.
Alfalfa is second from the right.
Yeah.
White kid
From
with
the
the,
right.
the greased hair. And that's buckwheat here in the on the far
Buckwheat.
right.
Buckwheat. Man of danger.
That was the that was the Saturday Night Live routine that Eddie Murphy used to do. I'm Buckwheat, damn it.
What's the dog called? I like
My
the
name
dog.
is Buckwheat. Oh, I don't remember, but he had a circle over his eye.
Yeah, he's
Over
called
his eyes,
Patch.
yeah.
Then he's called Target or
Good
Patch or
Patch.
something.
Yeah.
He's great. isn't he? I
Spanky
like
So
is
is
the
him.
one
that a
next to-
colorized? Is that a colorized
I
picture?
think, yeah, I
It
think
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spanky's next to Alfalfa there, who's next to Buckwheat, and that's
Alf-
Darla in the
Alpha?
middle.
Alfalfa.
Alfalfa.
Yeah.
Buckwheat. He's great. I like him.
And he used to have a cowlick. You can't see it here, but he used to have a cowlick off of his part there on top of
Right.
his head, almost like a hook.
Have you seen?
Oh, and actually, no, I'm sorry. I think that's Spanky here between the two girls.
Right.
Have you seen that that meme of Samuel L. Jackson like just looking at you,
No.
like in a crazed? He's just like, it's crazed. It's just like that's Buck Alpha when he's older.
Yeah. All right. Wasn't the dog Petey? Petey was the dog. No,
Petey.
Petey was Betty Boop's dog. No, that was
Did Betty
no,
Boop
yeah,
have
that
a
was
dog?
Petey. Petey was the little white dog that ran with Betty Boop,
Huh?
wasn't it?
I don't
Somebody will know out there. We'll get some correction. In the bottom left of that Batman, which is t-shirt worthy. Okay. Got that. Wasn't the dog? It might have been Petey, or it might have been named Petey in a couple of the episodes. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Alfalfa.
Moving on from Petey.
Moving back to what we're talking about.
Oh,
This is where Dr. Fate
Fate.
starts using the Ankhs here.
Right.
And he starts using the Ankh as part of his symbolism, his iconism.
That's a thick brush come back again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pen line.
I like
I'm
that.
pretty
That's a
sure
mad
it's a stiff
character.
pen, not a brush. So
That's bonkers.
it's right there.
Yeah, after a while, it started getting a bit more Egyptian, didn't it?
Yeah.
Dr. Fate. Yeah.
Rip.
Always liked that character.
What, Dr. Fate?
Yeah. The few Golden Age reprints that I got in the stories of his in the 100-page super spectaculars were always pretty cool. I always liked the look of him.
Well, he's dead easy to draw facially, and
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about expressions.
You've got to get his teeth right, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, after a while in the Golden Age era, he had his power cut in half. So they cut his helmet in half.
Oh, right.
Oh,
So
right,
you
so
can
you
see his
face.
nose and his jaw. Yeah.
Oh,
You
right.
can see his
okay.
eyes. They cut
Right.
that.
Because everybody was like that at that point.
End up
Wasn't they? They
getting
all had
zapped.
these bottom face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or are there sort of really, really good panels and some a bit not so? You understand what I
Almost
mean?
like somebody was finishing for him.
Yeah, or something was done like on the right hand page where he's got the hand on the second panel. It's really, really great, but the top panel doesn't seem as I don't know.
He's
I don't know,
missing a bit of hand on the bottom left panel.
Well, there's lettering here that you can hardly see.
Yeah,
It should have knocked it a little bigger. Put an outline on the white lettering.
yeah,
But yeah, there seems to be a lot of room here for exposition.
yeah.
So he might not have had a full script when he was doing this. He might have done it Marvel style.
Yeah.
That's a, yeah. That you know, like you say, someone's a sandwich short of a picnic.
Yeah.
You can say that writer's not got a full script. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a way of being derogatory about a writer. Oh, he's not got a full script, has he?
Martin Pascoe's a writer on this.
There's on that middle bottom panel where he's falling over. There's no holding line on that leg, like we're saying, about the hair. But who was it? We were looking at the hair. Where the hair?
Right there.
Who did we do before?
The Steranko.
Was it Steranko?
Yeah.
There's no holding line on the leg, and he's done that there, hasn't he? On the shading on that leg, there's no holding in the middle panel.
Like the energy here where he's coming through. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's falling.
Yeah.
Right here, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those things that you've either got to do a lot or not at all, really. I don't think he's just do it in one panel. And that's the only one he's done it in.
Well, he had the guy's hair back there too, that he was doing that same kind of shading.
He did. Yes, he did, yeah. Oh, look, just noticed something. Go back to the left-hand page, bottom. That's the same. It's the same drawing of Dr. Fate on the floor.
Yeah.
It's been pasted in.
Yes.
It's exactly the same.
I don't see the cut
It's
line.
not exactly the same.
No, but it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same pose, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly. It looks
has
like
been.
he's done it and then traced it, maybe.
Probably
Yeah.
did. He might have been working on a hard deadline. The inking on this is a lot finer than it is.
Yeah, there's
on
a
that.
slightly different ink on it. Yeah.
And look at the cloak as well. The shapes are more or less the same.
Mm.
Yeah, what weird.
Oh, he's traced it or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he
From
probably
himself.
did.
Yeah.
It's probably running on a deadline.
Yeah. Know that one.
He might have been getting a lot more work at this point.
Well, I did know that one. I'm unemployed now.
I think you do. Yeah, I think you're doing really great when you're happy with your own drawing that you can trace it and use it again.
Yes. Yeah. That's
I think
That's,
you're very when you do that.
Wally Wood rule of working, right? Don't draw what you don't have to trace, or don't trace what you don't have to draw. Here, the hair is like that again. No definition.
Yeah.
Nice cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Well, you hope so.
This looks like a lot like Christine from Manhunter. Christine St. Aubin.
Yeah. Look at
all those lines in her lips.
Look at the whiteout on that bottom left panel with the on the word balloons.
Oh yeah.
To the left.
To the left. To the left. To the left. To the left.
Here,
look at
a little to the left.
Look at all that changes. Wow. Somebody's earned the money in the office somewhere that day.
Yeah.
Maybe it was done freehand and he decided to go through and re-ink it.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like here as well. All around all of this.
You know, you said about the lips, the lines on those lips. That reminds me of Romero in Modesty Blaze type of.
Yeah. It's got that aspect to it, hasn't it?
Yep.
Blast you, Kent Nielsen.
Nicely
But
tied.
she's not happy, is she? I mean, she's
that's
fat.
Enzo.
What is she throwing at him? The coffee.
Yeah, she's not a very good shot because he's not moving because he's asleep and she missed.
Well, giving him a break, I suppose.
Blast you,
that's harsh. I had a girlfriend, well, live-in lover. She threw an apple at me once, straight across the table, and then the next day she threw a can of beans at me. Fortunately, I dodged. But she was a lunatic.
Yeah,
I mean, at least she's giving him some chance. This was across a bloody kitchen table.
Don't forget, it's a hot cup of coffee, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's hideous.
So not only could she damage his head, she could have burnt him as well.
Yeah, that's abuse. That is.
I had a first wife. I can't handle it anymore. I just can't. So many things, not just what happens to you. It's this place. It's living like a prisoner, having no friends. It's knowing that I can't share what you feel when you're faint.
Now deal with it, love.
Half a husband is.
You see, if this was a musical, see there where she says, and when he comes round, I won't be here. We go into.
And then you get into the music.
By the time I get to Phoenix, you know.
By the time I get to Phoenix. Ouch and a ball.
Perhaps Kent is out of it. Half of him has heard his wife's tearful words, and half of him cries too. While the other half hears but one word. That's three halves.
That's the other half, eh?
A game of three halves. And he's got his own pyramid down in the basement. Look, and he goes down the steps. He's got these pillars, look, with other stuff on it. Every home should have one.
Yeah. He's in a high tower. He's in a magical tower anyway. Down to the library to study. Studying the ancient texts. He spans the millennia in search of secrets, for somehow he knows that the wisdom of the ancients is hyphenated.
Really nice.
It's all that can save his world now.
It's really nice that they live in this magical tower, but there's some rather lovely checked tiles in the bathroom.
Yeah. Those were installed in the 50s. So
yeah, that's cool.
A little bit of modern living.
typical. No, I'm not going to say it. I'll get slaughtered if I say it.
I like the way he feels the need to draw the toilet seat in.
Yeah.
I
That's
probably-
how you know it's a bathroom.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have, but yeah, I can see that.
Didn't draw the whole toilet, just
No,
the bowl.
the edge of the toilet.
Yeah, and let's look at screen.
Yeah.
Back behind
Yeah.
here, white line.
Has he drawn that in, or is that a
Tone, letter
is that a
tone.
tone?
It looks like it was solid, and he put a white lined zip screen over top.
Right. Okay.
That's what it looks like. That. It's a little Western type.
Yeah.
lettering.
It looks like it's exploded that rather than just smashed.
Yeah, it has. It's blown out like a gun. Yeah, she threw it hard.
Blast you, Kent Nelson.
He's so exhausted because the helmet takes a lot out of him.
Well, so would you carrying that heavy thing about.
That's rather
On your
parasitic,
shoulders.
apparently. Yeah. Goes back on the origin of callus here.
Don't let your helmet wear you out.
Hey!
Well, that's come into play quite a lot. The helmet's taken a couple other people over the years.
Sorry, that was very much a British reference. Get down on it.
There's a great story in the Young Justice cartoon where Zatanna's father, Zatara, ends up taking the helmet. And they allow Kent to leave, and then she ends up making a bargain with the spirit in the helmet to trade off the responsibility because it's so taxing. So they start a rotation system with a couple of other gifted magicians.
We've got a little rotor up on the kitchen wall.
Yeah,
As to who's
yeah.
Dr. Fate this morning.
Exactly
Tuesday.
right.
Tuesday the green bin.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
The green. I'm not doing the washing up this morning. It's beans for me. Roger's got the Dr. Fate gig today. I'm not doing it. I've
It's
had
my
enough.
day to fate. I'll see you. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Nice set here.
Yeah. I like that middle panel.
The city of Bubastis. Was that a city? Bubastis? I thought it was a dog.
The dog's Anubis, isn't it? Yeah.
No,
Anubis.
I know that. I'm talking about
Or-
Bubastis in Watchmen.
Ah.
That big dog thing that
Yeah.
Ozymandias has.
Ozymandias. Oh.
Yeah.
Ozzy.
Ozzy to his friends.
Ozzy to his friends.
This is great.
Lol.
I did think that Anubis was so violent. I know he's a guard dog, but I don't know.
All the
Anubis
gods are
is
mean.
the
They're all
god of-
mean gods.
Is Anubis the god of death?
Yeah. I
Is it
think
like
so.
it's like the gatekeeper to
Right.
the
I thought he
beyond
was.
or
I thought, he was
something?
I thought he guarded them, but yeah, I suppose he could be. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
like-
here I believe he's the
gatekeeper.
gatekeeper to chaos.
Right.
Oh, right,
them-
okay.
That's why he gives him the amulet of Anubis, is to maintain order between.
All right, so they're
Order and
extending
chaos.
Anubis's capabilities here.
Yeah.
They're sort of they're expanding his CV.
It's interesting that he shows him without any features. He's just silhouette.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he went for that graphic look. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice touch.
Is it the Book of the Dead? The Egyptian Book of the Dead?
Yeah.
Where you weigh your heart against that of the feather of justice or something.
Nab-
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nabu. It's just,
Yeah.
This is Nabu, not Anubis. He gave him the amulet of Anubis. But I believe that's-
Right.
One of-
So
one
he's
of the-
he's just a helper.
Yeah.
One of the theories of Anubis is that it was his head on the Sphinx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or and well, the other theories is that it was a lion's head, and it's actually
Yeah.
somewhere between 12 and 32,000 years old. In actual fact,
Yeah.
from
that's
a
right.
previous civilization prior
Yep.
to or during the last ice age.
Yep.
But
The flood and all that, yeah.
yeah, archaeologists mainstream archaeologists aren't interested in that.
Yeah, we're still arguing over how advanced that civilization was, but there's
Well,
so
they're
many.
still arguing over the fact that there's obvious weathering on the Sphinx, and they don't want to know.
Yeah,
Archaeologists don't want to speak to any other scientists.
If you need any proof of how advanced that civilization was, just look at those things called pyramids.
Yeah.
Well, dragging them up the slope, you know.
The three particular pyramids, the big ones, those three are different to all the other pyramids in Egypt.
Yeah,
and they just found a tunnel last week inside of one of them they had never seen before.
They were probably built way before all the other pyramids by someone else, to be brutally honest.
Yeah,
they don't want to hear that. I was listening to some guy the other day talking about machining, drilling, cutting, all kinds of stuff. It's not to say that, you know, there was some civilization that was in some way more advanced technologically than us, just advanced enough to be able to, you know, manipulate large stones and do what they did. Their focus would be different. They wouldn't have their focus on small technology, but on, you know, meaningful things maybe. And, you know, they got wiped out by whatever happened at the end of the last ice age.
Yeah.
You know,
well, there's a huge city sitting up on a plateau in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
That they just discovered like 300 or 400 years ago. That had been sitting there this whole time. And somebody up there knew how to cut this incredibly large wading pool out of a block of granite. They don't know how that happened. There's all sorts of huge marble blocks up there. They don't know how they got there.
Yeah. The thing is all carbon dating is based on biological material.
Yeah.
You can't actually tell when something was built.
Yeah.
You can only tell when the last person was there or the first person was there that left a chicken bone or something.
Yeah.
Other than that, you can't do it. But like I say, archaeologists, who personally I don't consider to be scientists, aren't prepared to listen to people like geologists who are scientists. Yeah. They have a discipline and they just don't want to know. I suppose, you know, if you've been earning your career the whole of your life, and it's built on a certain set of principles and ideas, and people come along and say, well, maybe you need to check those ideas, you can understand why there'd be some resistance against it.
Of course, you lose your wages, don't you?
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, truth is truth. Money. And we need to find the truth, because it's only by finding out the truths of our past that we can understand what we need to do in the future.
But don't forget, knowledge is power. I think they know exactly how those things were made. But not gonna let, you know.
Well, I don't know about that, but they certainly have a good idea. I think there are definitely factions within science and within government that have an understanding that maybe the stories that we tell the general public aren't necessarily the truth.
Mm-hmm. By the way, special guest appearance by Sean Connery.
Yeah, Sean. Yes. Hello there. You look lovely, Miss Moneypenny. 100 no's and a yes means yes.
Nice little hungry callus there.
He's got a big mouth.
He does. Filled with all sorts of craziness.
Yeah.
Circle work here. There he is again.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that lettering has been done in white, hasn't it? Rather than the printer.
There's been a number of paste-ins again on this page. This entire section here has been.
So you think that white lettering, rather than it being put on a PMT machine and inverted,
well,
somebody's actually drawn it in a white brush?
Oh no, I doubt that. I sincerely doubt that. That had to have been inverted and pasted in, right? There's cut.
Yeah, I'm going to say there's a cut line there. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This ankh here, this is all pasted with the rubber cement's been there for so long.
Yeah.
It's left a grease mark there.
Love that. So rounded corners for memories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always used to love that.
Flashbacks. Nice cityscape here. Very quick, very simple. Just solids with a little line work. Beautifully done. And again, a really quick fence.
That girl's face there's got that open Ditko line on the nose.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Dr. Fate in an unusual position.
Yeah.
Legs a little. Anyway.
It's like we were saying last week. You can see where he's going, can't you? The Simonson, with hindsight, we know his style now. You can see it coming through, can't you?
Yeah.
Especially that guy on the left there with the beard on the left hand page. Reminds me of that when Thor had a beard.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I don't know why he'd had the beard, but I wasn't reading it then. But I can see it coming through.
He just didn't shave for a while.
When he turned into a frog, that's when I stopped buying it.
Oh,
I thought, no, I don't need this. Wow.
There's a lamb. Strange again, coming and using that Ankh symbolism. That's the first time I ever remember him using that.
Look at that.
No. And again, on this, the line weight on that mummy, you can see he's using that pen in different widths.
That no panel that you pointed out there that's very Doctor Strange, isn't it?
Very much, yeah.
It's very nice.
Strange never used any Ankh iconism.
No, I didn't
at all that I remember.
No. And on that
crazy,
leg,
crazy hands. Yeah,
his leg like a Steranko leg, isn't it? That leg there, that one. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
That open leg,
thick to thin.
Yeah, like it does. There's like a warp thing, isn't there? That Nick Fury goes through or something.
Pin. Then by Ishtar.
It's great though, isn't it? It's fantastic, isn't it?
He's
Brilliant.
Stronger than I guessed. He's not destroyed, merely driven off. Would have been interesting to see Simonson do some shadow work.
Yeah.
That would have been, because Kaluta's shadow was coming out about this time too. If I remember right. Just seeing that car and that angle. A little bit of reminiscent of Kaluta. It's interesting, thick. Right there, and then the white lines just to break it up.
It's great at the top of that page there where your hand is, where the cityscape is very quiet and very dark and serene, and then you get the little bit of text, and then bang!
This is what's going on underneath.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to nip away then to get myself more coffee.
A little bit of white out going on down here off the reflection. Lot of white out. A lot of white paint, white specks here.
Yeah. Look, I was just looking at the weight on that leg of the WAM panel. Really, it's a really nice leg, sturdy leg, it's a lot of weight on it.
Mm-hmm. There we are, Sphinx.
Yeah.
It's that silhouette for Naboo working again. Beautiful negative space work here.
Yeah.
Can you be so cruel not to pretend not to know me? Served you for 3,000 years. Look at me, Anubis. See your servant. Look at me.
I'd rather not. You're a bit gooey.
I don't think that Anubis at the top above that panel works, does it? In the black.
It's trying to be sort of like, it's almost like he's a living glyph.
Yeah.
No, glyph, like a living hieroglyph.
Yeah.
That's what I think he's trying to do. But I agree with you. I'm not 100% sure it works. But then I think there's enough detail in in the city below
Yeah, in the pyramid. Yeah.
to show what he's trying to do. That it's like an almost living graphic, as it were.
Well, he's been silhouetted before that in the
I don't just
flashback sequence.
I don't just mean the silhouettes. I mean the style. The style of it is it's a very graphic style. It looks like a hieroglyph. Are you playing with that camera again? Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. It's fine. Fiddler. You're a fiddler, Randy Zimmerman. You're a fiddler. It's like it's quite it's quite graphic, and I think that's what he's trying to achieve. I don't know that it 100% comes off, but I can see what he's trying to do there.
Well, I like it.
Oh,
a little bit of paste over here.
Look
a lot
at
of
that.
stuff happening.
Yeah. Some thicker lines. Oh, God, go away. Sorry.
This is this Osiris. Amon-Ra.
Don't know.
Make me one.
Amon-Ra.
Destroy your Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
Make me one with you to destroy your enemy. Great helmet. It's tearing him apart.
And you've got that eye at the top of the as well.
Yeah. And he had continued these lines around.
Yeah.
Then decided against it, whited it out through the callus over top of it.
Could you imagine if he'd drawn that and then sent it in, and when it came back, somebody'd whited all his work out?
Oh, that'd be crazy. Yeah. Little serpent back behind here too.
Yeah.
As well as the all-seeing eye. It's a little bit of spirograph at work here. That also looks like it was either pasted in or something was pasted there and then removed. Great shot here. Forced perspective. Again. Not to mention all of this going on. Got attacked by bands, it looks like. The air is shattered by a sound like the crackling of razor-sharp castanets as thousands of the talons bite into the man named Fate. Straining, he strains. He sustains a magical aura to protect his body. That's kind of cool. The flatness of that he's breaking through. Till finally, with a surge of mystic energy, he frees himself. The lethal claws scatter like so many wind-swept leaves. No man can change what is destined. And what is destined, Callus, is your defeat. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow.
12-page story. He's back.
Oh, she's back.
He returns, and she returns. It's resolved to being Kent's mate, as long as they can leave the tower every once in a while.
Do you know what? There's a little thing in there that I don't like. That's I think it's straight from Stan Lee when she says on the last panel, and she says, "Husband mine." He used to do that in Spider-Man. MJ used to say that. Boyfriend mine or whatever. I think Americans call it hokey to me.
Yeah. Anymore, it comes off. It's a little cringy.
Yeah.
I think maybe I can learn to live with him after all.
Oh dear.
Onward
Fickle,
to-
eh? Fickle female.
Yeah.
Until next
you
week.
know, we're still it's still the 70s.
Yeah, that's true.
Meanwhile, it's Captain Fear. John Workman is here as a letterer. David McElhenney and Walt Simonson, and David McElhenney is the writer.
Yep.
Jana Wood would have colored this. Just great look there. Nice ship.
I like the way his signature doesn't mess with that drawing.
Yeah.
You know, that lovely signature that he does of that dinosaur thing.
Yeah.
It really works, doesn't it? Doesn't take away.
Just the whole conflict here, the whole fight going on. It's great.
And that ship at the top.
Yeah. This works incredibly well.
I like those lines on the hand that's holding the gun as well. Those lines on the fingers.
Yeah.
No, at the top.
Up
At the
here.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people would just block that in black, wouldn't they? And it works really well with showing the light coming through. You know.
It's just a nice gun in general.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good at weapons. That we established that, didn't we, last week?
Yeah. And I like how he goes. He's solid here. He's so you can feel it, but here he's very much line weight.
Yes.
That was probably covered over by a block of color there.
Yeah. Yeah.
In order to keep it broken up.
Yes, it's great.
But again, the contrast works incredibly well, and the detail pattern
Yeah,
on that cannon is very interesting.
It's a lot of texture on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah. It's very nice, that page.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Look at that.
Ooh.
That's just great.
Look at that shit.
Another just a great just two great pages actually.
Yeah.
You're gonna do a pirate strip. There you go. Yeah.
Look at the way. Look at the spray on the front of the ship at the bottom with it, that white. All that is fantastic, isn't it?
That's a lot of whiteout work in there.
Yeah.
Expertly done.
But the thing that struck me about that last panel there with that ship is you've got a ship from 1750 or whatever, and a Kirby explosion whamming into the side of it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Very much. Yeah. Just
all
great.
that detail on there.
A lot of negative work here, no outline, a lot of solid.
And also, I just love the way
the mast work here
in that ship one at the bottom again. The way that the debris is splashing in the water as well, like it would, But the splash of the spray is different at the front of the ship. Do you understand what I mean?
Well, the ship's moving.
Yeah, so, it's fantastic, isn't it? That's a really nice page. That
debris splashing into the water here, just beautifully done.
Like I'm glad they didn't put wham on it, and spoil it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're doing a pirate strip, that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
that's what it should look like.
And it's great if you go to the top panel, boom, they miss, don't they? The top panel on there where it says boom, that's it.
Yeah,
they fire, boom, they miss.
Yeah,
and then bang, they get it on the second one. Fabulous. You should, and look at the sea as well at the top panel and that boom panel. The way the sea's rolling as well.
Everything's moving. Yeah,
it's fantastic, isn't it?
And then here you have a straight-on profile, the guy looking and giving directions, and the crew readjusting, reshooting.
The detail on the rigging as well. You're looking up to the crow's nest there.
Yeah,
in that third panel. Yeah, that's fabulous. Yeah. There's some research gone there, especially for that ship.
Yep,
brilliant.
Probably had to spend the day watching a bunch of old pirate movies.
Yeah, Errol Flynn.
Yeah. Just great stuff. And here it looks like such detail, but really it's lines.
Yeah.
It's just knowing where to place it and when, especially here with the perspective.
And on the next page, that I don't know what they call it, but that like pulley with the rigging on, the detail on that.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, it looks very Alcala, doesn't it?
It does. Yep, there's a lot there. A lot of that there. Yeah.
It's so different from the last story, though.
Double.
Yeah, he's certainly.
I forgot what they call them. The guns there, just great.
pistols. Are they pistols?
Yeah, pistols.
He obviously
Flintlocks. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it. He's obviously enjoyed drawing this. He's got to have enjoyed drawing that ship down there, getting that explosion on it. That's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Bother them a bit more. Fantastic. Boom.
Yep. Cannon. Again, very classic pirate movie shot. The door opening, the cannon coming out. The boom. I was hoping Russ would get back so he could see this. We'll have to turn back to it when he returns. We're moving on. More of the same. Just great stuff.
Oh, are they throwing him over the side?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
let the sea happen.
Is the captain? See you, captain. Chuck him over the side. Imagine that.
Wonder where this was from. Let me turn back to the contents page here. Oh, bumped the Unknown Soldier.
Yeah.
Number 250, 254. 255, 256, Captain Fear. Yep.
It's lovely stuff, isn't it? Very blacks are great, aren't they? On this.
Yeah, just amazing.
What's happening there? And that bottom panel where your hand is now, there's somebody hanging. Look at the feet at the top of that panel where you pointed.
Yep.
Somebody hanging. They're hanging.
Probably by the rigging.
Yeah. Oh my God. Another ass shot there, look.
Yep. Little bit of Gil Kane.
Yeah.
Look to that. Probably using the same equipment that Gil used for many, many years. It's definitely got that look right there.
Yeah. That's lovely, isn't it?
Just great stuff. Woodwork here.
Oh yeah. He spent some time on this strip, hasn't he? You can tell.
Yep. Researching, getting it right.
Yeah.
Just a great shot.
It's fantastic, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
Beautiful stuff.
Want more of this. And again, if you look in that crash panel in the middle panel there, he's left the floor all white, so it doesn't clash with all that detail.
Right.
How good is that? Fabulous, isn't it? I'm not so sure about I don't like the crash typesetting that's been dropped on there, though. I think that spoils it.
Definitely looks like it was added on.
Yeah.
It looks like it was pasted in.
Yeah. But
probably didn't need it.
No.
He might have tried to have drawn a crash over top of it and somebody didn't like it or he didn't like it. So he took it and just pasted in. There's no exclamation point to it or nothing.
It's not too clear here, but to the right of Crash, the paneling on over that guy who's dead. Is that all line?
It's wood grain here. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that line?
Line?
Yeah. Is it just like lines?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right,
it's all done and laid in by hand.
Right.
Off of that pen point.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like that.
Just enough too, because you start light down here like the floor.
Yeah.
Then you get a little more detail until the shadow hits it.
That's great.
Again, it's knowing, sign of a great artist, knowing what to put where.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Oh, look at that cannon.
Oh, look at that.
Look at all of that.
That shows you what it does, a cannon, doesn't it? Wow. I tell you what I like about that cannon, see the barrel. I like the way the barrel isn't even because the barreling in the canal tube, it's not exact, is it? Look at that. It's just fantastic. Yeah. And that texture of the tube bit, it's wonderful, isn't it? That's great. And look at that boat again on the other side at the top, that little boat. They're pulling those oars, aren't they? Wow.
Yeah.
That's just fantastic. Yeah.
That's just great
amazing
work to it.
And also something I noticed that he does This is incredible, I think. You see that second panel, the way it's so thin, the second panel, so
I'm
small.
back in the room.
Right. You get so much, you get so much detail in such a small space. Go back a couple of pages and show Russ those pages. You won't believe
Yeah,
this.
it's gonna do that.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful.
Wait till you see this. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that boat, that ship being hit.
What's the story?
That's just Captain Fear. It's a pirate.
Right.
Fear.
Okay. That's lovely, isn't it? Look at that.
Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that pistol he's got. Look.
Yeah.
I was saying the other week about how he knows about weapons or researches the weapons. And look at that.
Well, he just researches, doesn't he? I mean, look at what he's doing. He's got the armor he's got going on there.
Yeah.
That guy's hat.
The texture on the cannon we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Just look at the ship so easily.
That's a beauty. That ship up at the top there. Wow. Yeah.
Just amazingly done.
We were just saying, Russ, that if you look at the top of the boom panel there on the left, it fires and misses.
Yeah.
And then you come down, they reset the sights and bang, they get it right in the side of it. And I was just
great explosion.
I was just saying
perspective here.
You've got the 1750 ship being hit by a Kirby explosion.
Yeah.
And then the debris and splashing in the water as well.
Over on the right there, where the cannon's firing, the thaboom over on the right side.
Yeah.
It's great.
Great lighting. That's just.
So I was just saying on that where the ship is being hit, the debris splashing in the water is different from the spray that the ship is making at the front of it.
That's
fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah.
The detail on that.
And again, that's just great brushwork.
Yeah.
Understanding what his brush does, you know.
Weird, my chat message isn't there anymore. Can't explain it, Chris. Don't know what's up with it. I just blame StreamYard. Just keep adding to the chat until it shows up. Yeah.
I'm just saying before as well, Rusty. It's very Alcala, this inking, isn't it?
This is, yeah. Do you know? It makes you wonder. You know, it's like we're talking about doing what we're doing, me and Randy, and I'm looking back at like Buscema, Conan, and Alcala inks, and is that Alfredo?
Alfredo Alcala.
No, there's another guy. Who's the other?
Ernie Cruz.
Ernie Chan, is it?
Ernie Chan.
Yeah, and just the different textures and what have you, and what's going on there, and it's like it's almost like it that style works.
Yeah.
For that kind of content.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas, like when I draw the Only Death Can Save Us stuff, or where I'm doing the Unstoppable comics, or if I'm doing Doctor Who, I was doing just that little bit more shading, and then the Batman stuff, because it was all ages, I did a little bit, but not a lot. And then the Only Death Can Save Us stuff, I'm putting that in that sort of that kind of Bronze Age kind of feel. But when I want to do something like the Sword and Sorcery, I'm looking at doing a lot more cross hatching and shading and stuff. And you can see here that it's him, it's his style. Yeah. But it's kind of like he's deepened it. Do you know what I mean? And it works for the subject matter.
Yeah.
It really does. And it once again, I'm finding myself inspired by someone who I don't see. I never look at his stuff and see my work. Do you know what I mean? He's never been he's never been one of those artists in my list. Okay. I can appreciate him. I think he's fantastic, but it's not the way I want to draw. But at the same time, it's inspirational to see someone change their style just enough according to the content of the story and the genre. And it's like, wow, this is inspirational stuff, because I'm fighting myself thinking, well, I wanted to draw that way and then I wanted to draw this way. And it's like, no. It's okay. It's okay to change. It's okay to adapt and do different things. You want your own style from a perspective of you want to be recognized. But then you look at something like John Buscema and you see all these different inking styles, including his own, and everybody recognizes it's Buscema. Yeah, everybody. It's obvious who it is, and yet you have somebody like Alcala inking over the top of it, and it gives that kind of look, you know. So from my perspective, I'm seeing stuff like this. I mean, he inked this himself, I presume.
Yeah,
I think so.
And it's like, right, okay. So I'm not changing my style. My pencils are still basically the same. My formation of scenery, the way that I put things, the way that I tell a story, my anatomy, all that kind of stuff. Like the pencils of, say, Buscema. I'm not comparing myself to Buscema, just the process. Okay.
Yep.
And then I can come at it with a different inking style and do things and shake it up, and yet still be true to myself, still be true to my own style, but at the same time shake it up for the different genres. And and just I'm just rabbiting on here, but it's just being able to look at these fabulous artists like we are and be inspired not just by their growth, how great they were, the things that they did, but also their processes and how they explore different genres and how they produce the different work.
I agree. It's like
one book. To be honest, it's one book.
It inspires you to draw rather than to draw like them.
Yes. Yeah. This is exactly this, because I absolutely have never been inspired by the style here, but I am inspired by the content, the ability, and the excellence of it.
Look at that canon.
Yeah, and it's making me think, right, well, I can change up and still be true to myself.
Sure.
Yeah, it's great. And this is a lesson for any artist out there. This, I mean, like I say, in a microcosm, like I was talking about with the different inkers, different pencilers, and still being able to see the style through it all. It's almost like this one book of Simonson from start to finish has been a lesson in how to stay you, keep your style, but at the same time have a different process over the top of it with the inks.
Yep.
Fabulous stuff. You're right. That canon is just nuts.
It's just and again, this panel here, for example, it looks so detailed, but it's really so simple.
Yeah.
Economy align.
You know, very much the economy align.
And we said before,
all of that rigging is here. You know.
Yeah, we said before the texture on that cannon is amazing.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
But here with the rain coming down and then the ships in the fog floating away, he could have done all of that water sitting in here, but he chose not to. In fact, he went through and whited out a lot of it just to keep that look. And then the legs here in silhouette without any outline to them whatsoever.
Fabulous.
And again, on the panel above there where the guys are lying dead, and the cannon, look at the cannon, the rendering of the cannon.
Yeah.
It's sort of incidental, but it's bang on, isn't it? It's fabulous. Absolutely brilliant.
Again, there's some, he's got that research into the headgear, soldiers.
Yeah. Look at that whack.
Whack.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least he got an exclamation point behind it this time.
That's definitely Metro set.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's been using Times New Roman in places.
Yeah. Not good.
It works.
Well, it's old time, you know.
It's old timey.
Yeah. Captain Fear.
Yeah, that's drawn, but it's definitely based on like Times New Roman.
There is a
it's shaky. It's intentionally shaky. If they did that in Letraset, I'd have gotten yelled at if I had done.
Exactly.
Letraset like that. Only that's the effect that he was after. Yeah,
he's traced and he's done it in that way. Yeah, definitely.
I think Walt Simonson's a frustrated letterer.
I just think he's a storyteller in general.
Yeah,
he's one of the few people that incorporates the sound effects and the lettering as part of the overall design. You know, here this would have been knocked out normally, one side or another like this.
Yeah.
In comes the ninja.
Ninjas.
But first, beautiful bedroom scene there. Look at that with a menacing shadow.
Again, you can see the research he's put into it, like that pillar in that panel there and the chair. He's certainly got some reference books.
Yeah, he's definitely been looking, hasn't he?
Yeah,
because that's a chunky Tudor-ish kind of design, isn't it?
Yeah, the bed and the table and the chair.
Or that kind of type. Is it Tudor? It'd be. a little bit
something
later,
like-
wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Like
I'm not sure.
1700s, which is
Yeah,
not Georgian, is it? It's
I don't know what it is,
something like that.
but it's I know what you mean. There's a lot of weight. They're obviously heavy wood, aren't they? There's a lot of weight to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to pick that bed up.
No.
No. But Captain Fear will jump on it.
Yeah. Like, oh, he's got the pirate boots.
Our
I
guy
love
there.
pirate boots.
Yeah.
Captain Fear.
This guy here's got glasses. Yeah, with wire rim.
Oh. Did they have glasses in 1750?
I imagine
Yes.
they did. Yeah.
I think they did. But I don't think they look like that.
No, I don't think like glasses. I think that had monocles, but not. But anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
They would have.
Yeah.
I think they would have all been round as well.
Yeah. Probably. Nice. This silhouette work.
It's
in
great,
here.
isn't it? That,
Yeah.
The way it's broken up with the laces.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Wata!
He's also got different shade on that an India guy's eyes, hasn't he? In the eyebrow, it's different
he's-
than the rest.
Lines in, and it's the racial demographic as well. He's got the eyes really good.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
It's like obviously whatever you're allowed to say, Asian Orient or whatever it is. He's absolutely nailed that aspect.
yeah,
I think
exactly.
it-
But
yeah.
he's not stereotyped it, has he?
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's absolutely nailed it. It
Yeah.
looks very, very, very natural.
Yeah,
We're going to cover a lot of that on Sunday's show.
Ooh.
right. Ooh, right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We'll cover a lot of that.
Here we go. Waka waka waka.
Well, even Captain Fear has got a Mongolian type
He
look.
does,
to him.
yeah. He
Yeah.
does.
Is
yeah.
he Mongolian?
I am not sure.
That's
But
a
he's
great
got that
drawing,
look.
that,
He's
isn't
got
it?
very, very
and it
high
stayed-
cheekbones and
Yeah.
a flat nose and
Yeah. It's
It's
wide,
been very
wide eyes.
consistent. He's
Yeah.
been very consistent with that
Could
character all
be.
through. so.
Especially bizarrely, especially with the head bandana thing. It's kind of
Yeah.
makes him even more.
I'll tell you what I like about that drawing. You know, the top of where the black and the top of the panel, the way it breaks,
Yeah.
that line and,
Yeah.
and blends it, because it sort of goes into his hair, doesn't it? And there's like a shape, isn't there, from his hair to that break of that.
Mhm.
It's just wonderful.
You
It
used to
really
see
is
a
good,
lot of that back in the 70s and 80s, where you have an odd pattern back there that it's not necessarily adding to anything except the tension, of the dramatic effect of the panel. Jumping and fighting and crashing, bed's gone.
I did
Mhm.
some of that where I needed to fill in panels and add some shade without doing too much.
Yeah.
Did that whole not Ross Andrew. Ross Andrew might have done a bit of it. Gil Kane, I think, did a lot sort of the cross hatching where you did like squares.
I think of
lines.
Alcala. I think of Alcala a lot when it comes to that kind of stuff, with the cross hatching in the background, the 3 lines, 3 lines, 3 lines
Yeah.
type of look to it.
Yeah, I've done quite a lot of that recently. I
Well,
mean,
it's a sign of the times,
yeah,
like
it's
the time period.
I like the style though. I just like.
Oh
the,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just.
oh yeah.
I really like it, and it's like having a background without a background. So you don't have to leave the panel completely blank behind.
Yep.
You don't want to put in a background because it's just going to overpower the panel, but you want something in there. Those shadows that he's got on that top left panel on the left hand page where he swung him over.
Yeah.
His foot's casting a shadow. I mean, it's the lighting in that.
It's
Right.
great, isn't it?
Works incredibly well. Breaking the sword here, the rapier.
I just like, the guy's face on the right page we we're just discussing there. I just like the editorial circles on where there's obviously the line is obviously broken, the panel has been whited out. It reminds me of the roads when there's a little hole in the road and some guy comes around with some jobs worth, comes around and sprays around one hole but not the next one because it's not big enough yet to fill.
What are those lines for? What are those circles for?
I think it's where the line has gone over the panel and then somebody's been told to white it out.
Oh,
Probably,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep, right there.
That is
There.
pretty anal.
Yeah, just leave it alone.
It's
I'm
okay.
sure it wasn't doing any harm. Just
I'm sure
leave
no
it
one's
alone.
going to be bothered by it.
Yeah.
Might have been an editorial direction to the bullpen too. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a circle here.
There's one on the left of him
Yeah.
at the top
They're in
as well.
different
Yeah.
places.
Because I find myself, because you do break lines occasionally, you don't mean to.
Yeah.
And then you're in the middle of a page and you think, oh, I'll go back and fix that. And you never do.
That's
And
right.
but I mean, that's, in all fairness, as much as I find that a little bit anal, at the same time, it does show a level of competence and a level of professionalism about the editorial process.
Yeah, attention
True.
has been
Attention to
paid.
detail.
Detail, yeah.
And I think that's something that we are sorely missing
Yeah.
in a lot of books these days, a lot of mainstream books.
And this panel could have been drawn completely different by anybody else.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a little guy here.
He's just jumped up in the
throwing
air.
the knife and jumping
No,
into the air.
exactly. That knife's coming at me. I'm just in the dodge to the side. Oh no! I'm going to jump 6 foot up in the air so the knife travels underneath my feet.
Straight.
He went to see Enter the Dragon last week when he's involved in it.
It's about that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, and then mind you, you've got to be impressed that Captain Fear, a lumbering pirate, has bested a ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of blow dart action here.
Yeah. Oh, it's baboon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, on that panel, he's got that black breaking up as well into those lines.
You might have been expecting the knife, but you weren't expecting the pea shooter.
But dang. Sugar's just asked what the book is. Does he?
Which book is this?
It looks quite big, so I think he's talking about the whole big book rather than.
Oh yeah. Sugar, we're still working on the Manhunter Walt Simonson Artisan edition from IDW.
Week 3.
Love to get a copy of this for myself. I actually got it on loan from Jason Moore.
It's a beautiful thing.
I think we might be going into week 4 with this one.
We can't. No,
we can't. Really,
we've got to do something else next.
How much time are we on? This will be the whole Simonson month. We're at an hour and 36. We only have, I think there's a few more pages of Captain Fear, and then there's 2 issues of Metal Men.
Wow.
Right, get on it.
Maybe we should come back to it in a few months then.
We could always come back to it in a little bit. Oh no, there's a whole other chapter.
Look at those ships.
Look at that.
Look at those ships and those birds. Look at the rigging on that.
The detailing in the wood.
Yeah.
Look at that.
The Captain Fear feature was a backup in Unknown Soldier.
Oh, right.
For like 3 or 4 episodes.
This is so much of this is giving me 2000 AD vibes.
Yeah. Look at
it's about that time period. It's right in there, just as they were running. Just before. Yeah.
Look at the weapons there on that panel with and that telescope thing there at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that book on pirates, hasn't he? Look at that. It's absolutely fun. And if he hasn't got the book on pirates, he should write it and draw it.
Yeah.
But look at the rope coming out of that ship above with the anchor. It's just fantastic, isn't it?
Just all of that's amazing.
Brilliant.
That's just a great page.
General. And he's put those birds on as well. Look, the seagulls. Fantastic.
David McElhenney again writing. Walt Simonson drawing. Yeah. McElhenney, of course, went on to do a great run with Bob Layton on Iron Man. Pretty much gave the MCU that entire character and the armor.
Right. Look at that panel there. Crack, blam, kabam, blam, blam, blam. And he goes, adios.
This was all drawn in originally and then pasted over.
That's horrible, isn't it?
Pasted in.
I don't like the way they do that.
No, that's not. No.
Last minute. Got to do it. Got to get it done.
Oh,
boom.
no.
Yep.
Look at that. Shall we give chase, Governor? No need to trouble yourself, Sargento.
Sargento.
So, yeah.
Well, I have to do a lot of things in Spain because of reasons. And pretty much everything is just putting O on the end. It's English.
Yeah. I'll be seeing this Captain Fear.
I'm glad
again
you said that,
soon.
not me.
Putting O on the end and shouting really loud in an ignorant manner. There you go. That gets you everywhere. I'm English. Don't you understand what I'm saying, O?
I'll be seeing this Captain Fear again soon. When I do, I assure you, he will receive more than the gold he expects. Yeah. Just great. Look at that style.
Sorry, Sugar's just said, metal men. I love metal men. It's like what you do in your own time, Sugar. Totally up to you, mate.
Those are some really good issues. Maybe we'll do a couple of episodes in between
I've never
come back to it.
I saw one book of Metal Men, and that was the one that Shane Davis, is it, did?
Yeah, probably. That Dan Didio wrote that. Yeah.
I happened to be on a stream, and they asked Shane to be on because it was about that. It was about Metal Men, and they wanted my opinion on what I thought because I didn't even know Metal Men existed, to be honest with you. It was
really?
It was outside of my frame of reference.
Oh,
I just
Yeah.
had not read it. I didn't really know anything about it.
Wow.
And so we were just talking about the art, and he had done some absolutely stunning art on it. It was beautiful. And he was talking about the process, the art process, what he was doing with DC at the time and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I've seen. So I'm really interested to see what's going on. Yeah.
All right. We'll have to do another Simonson episode. I can pull up the Showcase Presents. I've got at least one Metal Men Showcase Presents.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Majority
well,
of that
that's it.
work.
We're done. We've just made a schedule. There you go.
Majority of that work back then was done by Ross Andrew. He first started out drawing Metal Men. That was a big strip for me. I was always attracted to the unusual oddball characters anyway. And Metal Men definitely fit that bill, especially Mercury. Yeah.
No, Sugar, I've not read it either. I was literally just looking at the art in my shallow manner. I've got so many things to read that's unfortunately it's just not one of them.
Russ is part of the Spanish black market comic book trade.
I wish I was.
He goes, Manhunter was too good, was so good. I read it a long time ago. Don't know whatever happened to it. Oh, well, they literally sat on it for a long time. Metal Men love Metal Men. They haven't done anything with it, I think, out of respect for Goodwin or just the lack of attention from Hollywood. But it really would make a great series if they'd bothered to do it.
Agent Zero.
I've only read the old ones. Yeah. Yep. And Agent Zero in the house. Good morning. Good morning, Justin. Hope you're doing well. Up early. We are looking at Captain Fear. Arr.
Arr.
And again, a ninja. Because ninjas were hot back then.
I was listening to Chatto this morning. Have you seen that?
Who what?
Was it a film executive producer response or whatever it is? Guy called Chatto. I think he used to be a comedian in Canada in the 90s or something, and he's been in production. He does reviews and stuff, which are quite amusing, to be honest. And he was talking about pirates this morning. He said, of course, they've got English accents, so they're evil when they're pirates, so they must be English.
Again, just knowing when to put that negative space in.
Here you go.
Simple line work here.
Zero just said it's like it's ninjas versus pirates before ninjas versus pirates.
Yep.
The old stuff is the best.
Always. Usually that's sure is the way it works out, isn't it?
What? That's a funny word, that slash. That sounds like a colloquialism or some kind of abuse, some kind of term of abuse.
Don't forget Don Martin also raging at the time. So yeah. At least it's not flabbergap, right?
Flabbergap.
Slatch.
You slatch, get away from me.
And there's a here along the bottom.
I always loved his clouds.
Yeah.
He was so brave with them. He just like a single line. They're clouds. Yeah. Get on with it.
And he always puts birds up there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
which is usually where you
Well,
find
it's-
birds.
Yeah,
Oh, it's just-
yeah, well done. Yeah,
I
It's,
love the way he uses them here. It's just
Yeah,
open
yeah,
space.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
Just-
but it is a
thick
great
outline,
way.
Just contrast screaming
It is
right out at
such
you.
an easy way to describe the sky in
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah.
Just put a couple of birds in it, and you know it's the sky. It's-
Yeah.
More rigging. Great rope.
Like the way again he's broken those
Just,
three
throwing
panels.
Yeah.
Again, he's broken that action down in the 3 panels brilliantly.
Another great panel here. Just phenomenal. And honestly, I would think the coloring on that probably killed it.
Yeah,
Just didn't do it the justice it deserved on this because it looks so great in black and white. It's the kind of stuff you would find in any of the black and white magazines of the day.
Yep.
You know? There it is. Scratch a boom.
Boom.
Scratch a boom.
I think they could have left that off for me.
Yeah, I could have been.
I
quite
have to
with not
agree.
seeing that. Yeah. Although again, that does look like it's been drawn on rather than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I
doesn't
could
look
have-
pasted
I could
on
have
at all,
happily-
no.
I could happily lived without the sound effect on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is
Didn't
that a
need it.
signature?
Yeah, it's Walt's signature.
Yeah.
In an
Fabulous.
open spot.
Yep.
Let's see when the date is on that.
That-
Sorry. Looks like 80.
Down the bottom right there, they've got Thring Shrang Chunk. I think that sounds like a 50s number.
Ring, shang, chunk.
That's what the backing group is singing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ring, shang, chunk. Ring, shang, chunk.
Oh.
Rack.
I look at the movement in.
That's check, rack, rack. Check,
yeah.
rack, rack.
Look at the movement in Captain Fear in that middle panel.
Yeah.
That's just beautiful. The line that goes right the way from his foot all the way up to his
I tell you,
hand.
looking at that Captain Fear,
And
we're
the
talking
hand.
about Alcala inks. It looks like Conan that face, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like,
Conan.
he's a chunky lad, isn't he? He's like
Yeah.
he's not a skinny. He's no Who's that guy from the Caribbean? Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, Johnny Depp.
No, yeah, but his name was.
You thinking Corto Maltese? No.
No, I'm thinking that
Captain Jack.
Jack Spratt. Jack
Jack Sparrow.
Sparrow. That's
Sparrow,
it.
Jack Spratt.
Jack
Jack
Sparrow.
Spratt had no fat.
Jack
Yeah.
Spratt.
Got this wonderful hand there with no detail in it.
Yeah.
Feel the heel of my blade.
But he will be revenged.
Yeah, he will be.
Avenged. He will be avenged. So, Captain, you come to learn something of swordsmanship, eh?
He should there in that panel there. He
No,
should say no.
Spaniard.
He should
I
say
come
no
to teach.
Spanado, shouldn't he?
No,
Spanado.
Spanardo.
I come to teach.
I don't know
Come
Spanard.
to teach.
Chung, chung.
Chung.
And look at that panel on the previous page there, where that guy's been flipped over. That centre
Yeah.
panel at the bottom. That's the real Gil Kane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up on his head.
Just a beautiful page.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Even with the scrathafoom.
I don't get
Yeah,
the Shashafu. I don't get that.
I can't. That sound effect's
Strathathum.
not doing it for me.
To me, if it should have anything, to me it should be saying Batum.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Because
But
the
not-
Thring Shrang Chung, that's okay because that's like sword play. You can
Yeah.
hear it in your mind. Go, Thring
Especially when
Shrang.
it comes to
No,
teach.
I can't be doing with the Strathathum or whatever it is. It
And
sounds
even still, the lettering should have been all
Strathathum.
static and shaken up.
sounds
Yeah.
like somewhere in Scotland. Hello, have you been to Strathathum?
Where are you from? Scrathafoom.
Strathathum. Yay, it's up near Glasgow.
I thought Iceland was bad. Anyway. Ah, last page for Captain Fear. Here.
Oh no, this is where we stop.
These two pages prove what you said before, Russ.
Yeah,
That he's drawing for the genre.
it's
'Cause look at the
drawing for the
different-
genre.
Look at
Yeah.
the difference of that Metal Man
Okay,
rendering.
like the
What a
one on the
colour.
right, the one on the right has got aspects of Stalin about it, and the one on the left
Yeah.
looks like a Kala. It's like
Yeah.
it's just it's genre specific approaches to his own style. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, there might be a different ink on here. I don't know, but it's definitely the way that he's drawing for the content of the story, and that fills me right now. Like the universe has just given me this because it's right now that I need this. I needed to see this, and I don't have this book, and I wouldn't have gone out and bought this book, but I needed to see this because it's encouraging me to go right, lean into it, lean into doing something other, leaning to do something new. So yeah,
look at the beautiful rigging on that ship at the top right. Yeah,
he's absolutely nailed the whole pirate thing, hasn't he?
The sails, just no detail. Here we go.
Yeah,
the sails are beautiful.
Beautiful.
Because I've been whizzing through a whole bunch about Conan Alcala stuff, and there's that stretch of story where Conan is with the pirates.
Yeah,
and it's so similar. It's so, I mean, obviously it's not. They're two different styles, but the obvious research and the focus and the energy and effort that have gone into creating the world that you can see in each panel, just brilliant.
Queen of the Black Coast. Yeah.
Look at the tension in the bow on that page.
Yep. And look how thick his lines are for the waves at the bottom.
Yeah.
That bottom panel, and then it goes into the thinness into the background. Just you might think, oh, that's obvious. It's not obvious to a lot of people.
It's fabulous, isn't it? And the way it's rising as well. The ship is rising.
Yeah, you can feel the ship bobbing on the wave, can't you?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So great.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Right. So we've got to end it there.
2 more issues of Metal Men.
That's one show. That's a whole show.
That's a whole show. Maybe we'll look a little bit at Andrew's stuff. I think I might have the Shane Davis book here too as well. I'll have to look for that.
I'd just like to say that this has been great fun. Yeah. Doing this show. This is so much fun because it's like it's doing. I consider this as part of my working day. This isn't just it because you're taking it all in and you're learning. It's educational. Yeah. It really is. It's fun as well because the three of us are just.
That's why I like
shooting the breeze over the top of it. You know, it's like it's great.
Absolutely.
Fabulous.
But yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Oh.
Ooh. No, don't show it. Don't.
Now we'll look at that too. We'll look at that too next time. Maybe do we want a week in between like we did Boland or
No, we might as well finish it off because if people are watching they'll want to see the book finished.
More Simonson next week then.
And it's not like it's been the same thing all the way through. You see changes, styles, change of content and everything. So no, we'll do that and then we'll do something else the week after.
The week after that I'll bring out Star Slammers. It'll be great.
Oh, Star Slammers.
No, don't do Simonson one after the other. No.
That's the Simonson show. It's the Simonson show.
This
one of these days he's gonna pop up in the chat and say, I hear you've been talking about me.
Yeah. I've got the IDW I've got a Remitter Spider-Man. I've got a Gil Kane Spider-Man. I've got
Jason's,
I've got Daredevil.
Jason's got about another 3 or 4 books like this as well. So
I've got Buscema's Silver Surfer.
Oh, right.
So we could run through that.
I've got access to that too. So yeah. Plus a lot of other art books and stuff here. I've been collecting for a while. We need to do a couple of episodes at least on Alex Toth as well.
Yes.
Be great to do. Folks, if there's anybody out there you want to see us cover, make sure you drop us a comment in the chat. Let us know what you think. If you like these shows, definitely tell your friends. We can use all the viewers that we can, or go over and subscribe to the Indie Comics Network. We do a wide variety of programming over there that there's bound to be more things over there that you will also enjoy. So go over there and take a look.
I don't think there aren't any big editions like this, but I'd like to see the Frank Bellamy Thunderbirds. I've got all the
somebody should do one,
and the we could show scans of it, I suppose, or whatever. But it's just wonderful stuff.
Oh, I've got sets of trades here that have his work and Noble's work in it, and
Right.
there's all sorts of. They did some really great album collections, nice color, just good stuff. Levi says, "Love hearing all of your insights on this show. Also, very entertaining to watch. Thank you all once again for a great show. Thanks, Levi. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks.
Deeply appreciate you, Agent Zero. Same thing. We like all of you guys looking in on this. And again, if there's somebody else you want to see us cover, we'll be happy to do it. We're all archived over at the Indie Comics Network as well. We've already done 3 episodes before this on Simonson. The first one was the Alien movie adaptation. That was a few weeks ago. Then we did Boland, and then we got into Manhunter here for a couple of episodes. And now we've just gone through a little Batman, a little Dr. Fate, and some Captain Fear. So next week we'll do Metal Men. It might not all be Simonson, but we'll do Metal Men so that maybe we can contrast the artistic styles of a few different masters on that title, especially since Russ was not aware of who they were. So
yeah, no, that's I'm very
How about
detached from Metal Men.
how about the Atomic Knights? You familiar
I
with the
don't know
Atomic
that.
Knights?
No.
No, I've never heard of that.
Oh, we're definitely going to have to look at that. The
It's
copy of the book that I have is done in newsprint, and it's very
Oh,
DC printed it out almost haphazardly. But I love Atomic Knights because it's like trying to explain curling to somebody in the South. That's the easiest way to describe it, because it's like it's after the apocalypse. These guys have found these suits of armors that, for whatever reason, repel radiations. The society's been crumbled to death. There's all sorts of odd mutations running around, and their main means of transportation are Dalmatians the size of horses.
outstanding.
Our main reason of transportation.
It's a herd of wild.
No
they
one
have to
expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Exactly. They have to tame a whole herd of wild Dalmatians and use them as horses.
Amongst
Put him
our
in the
weaponry.
comfy chair
It is-
without the cocoa.
It's a phenomenal property that I dearly love. And the really
bonkers.
cool thing is, this is a golden age or a silver age property. All of the artwork is done by Murphy Anderson.
Oof.
Which is
I
just-
don't know. I'm afraid I don't know that name. I'll show my ignorance.
Oh wow!
You don't? You've not heard
Yeah.
of
I
Murphy
know
Anderson?
Murphy Anderson. I've not heard that name. Sorry.
Oh, I had
shit.
the
Remember, I'm younger than you guys.
yeah.
What's that got to do- You've heard of Jesus, haven't you?
There you go.
I
had
really
the-
like the baby cheeses,
I had the pleasure of spending,
especially the ones
convention.
with the red wax on the outside. The baby cheeses.
I sat next to Murphy Anderson at a convention. Was able to officiate a panel with him on it. He was just a
Oh,
great
okay.
person. Yeah.
I'll probably see his artwork and go, oh right, okay. I know the artwork.
You've heard of Kurt Swan, haven't you, Ross?
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Murphy Anderson used to ink a lot of it.
Oh,
a lot of
okay.
Because they were
Okay.
called Swanderson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
I
fair enough.
compare his inking style to pretty close to Alex Raymond on Flash
Yeah,
Gordon.
yeah,
Very
really
very
Okay.
beautiful brushwork. Just
Yeah,
gorgeous material.
very nice.
I am not
thin
as
line.
knowledgeable as you two wise men.
Wise man. Somebody said my Native American name is man shouting at clouds. Yeah. Old man shouting at clouds. Yeah.
I'll tell you a joke about that, but not live.
Yeah,
Not
not
on
on live.
here.
No,
Not
not
on
on
here.
stream. No, we'll get cancelled.
Folks, if you want to see some really oddball stuff, we're going to run a program on Sunday. I just got a book back from a retailer that I let him borrow, which is a very rarely seen collection of the Monster Society of Evil. And we're
Oh.
going to be going over that this Sunday here on Sunday Funnies. Come back and visit us on Comics by Night. Next week, we'll go over Simonson's Metal Men, maybe a few other people's Metal Men, and have just as much fun as we had this week. So
Nice.
thank you so much for viewing and for participating. Remember, we're archived over at the Indie Comics Network. Russ, tell folks how they can. Well, Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me. You can find me at russleach.com, and there are links there for you to be able to get hold of Only Death Can Save Us from all good book outlets. online. Only Death Can Save Us book 1 is still available in its original format. Not many of them left, which is over at my Indiegogo for Only Death Can Save Us book 2, which is currently at the printers. So you don't have to wait long for that. And probably I'm going to cut the Indiegogo campaign at the end of this month. That'll be it. So it'll go off the print after that. So those are special books. You can only get them from there. You can find me in the pages of Batman Magazine or Hero Time Presents Batman in the UK and Europe for a little while longer yet. And you can go and sign up for my email list over on the website. Also, go follow me on Instagram. I post a piece of art there every day. And you can get all those links and everything about me from russleach.com.
Sweet. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you. Oh,
yeah, you can get me in the usual places, Facebook and all that kind of thing. But if you want to see me with Jack Kirby, I went to his house a couple of times in the late 80s, early 90s, and I wrote this book about it. And you get this book from me, and with it you also get a DVD of me talking with Jack in his studio, and you can hear the man in his own words, which is quite spectacular, I think. I'm just about to launch my creation, Hatch, this book 2.
There we go.
If you go to Indiegogo, you could sign. There's a pre-sign up, for the launch and all that kind of thing. And you can also find me every couple of months in my magazine, Comics Unlimited, which you can get on Amazon.
I'm in there this month,
and so am I. so is Randy. We're all
in there.
It's just the usual suspects. And you can also, if you go to Amazon, you can also find all my other books, science fiction books and humor books and children's books and all that kind of stuff.
I have to say that's a great book. That's a great magazine. If you like comics and you're interested, which is why you would be here watching this with us now, get that magazine.
It's 100 pages and it's published every couple of months or so.
Great mag.
It's all thick too. It's great stuff.
Yep. Like us.
Lots of comic history. Yeah, exactly like this. All thick and stuff. Folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find me over at aerocomics.store. Go over there and take a look. Such products as HeroBot Zero, which is a creation of mine of a 3-foot-tall giant robot. Paragon, which is a superhero character of mine that I'm very proud of. And we also have Hybrids and Calico as well, and I don't seem to have a copy right handy. It's a fantasy book that C. Michael Lanning did the artwork on that I drew. I'm especially proud of all of those products. Go over there and take a look, aerocomics.store. If you also have a chance, we have 2 campaigns currently running on Indiegogo. There is the Chrome Dog campaign, which is a great book that offers both of these campaigns offer 2 Arrow tiers over there that you can partake on with some of the Arrow products. The other campaign is the Hybrids double feature, which is an RPG game and a trade collection of a few issues of the Hybrids together. You can buy them together or separate and buy the Arrow tiers or separate or whatever you need. Like I said, there's 2 sets of Arrow books over there. The first set's 8 titles, all number 1s. Only Death Can Save Us from Russ is there. There's a Hatch story in the Revolt number 1 book available on the first tier. The second tier has got a Revolt again with a cover by Russ and a story in there by Russ Leach. Also, The Fool number 1, which is another superhero book of mine that I'm really, really proud of. It's currently being colored right now, and can't. We'll talk more about that. We're probably going to run a campaign to help recover some of that coloring costs on that. And also Soul Tack number 1 from Craig White, which is also an incredible book, a lot of fun. And the second issues of Revolt, HeroBot Zero, and Hybrids are also available on that tier. So go over there and take a look at those.
Just a quick shout out, if I may.
Zero yells Chrome Dog. Yeah.
Unstoppable Comics.
Unstoppable.
I just want to shout out for JD Rosario.
Rosario.
He sent me over this. This was the last Storm Chasers book that I did. And it came out really, really nicely.
Sweet.
It's really good. It's great fun. Okay, he does superhero stuff. Did diversity and inclusion way before Marvel thought it was a marketable idea. Okay, and he was doing it properly. So if you can pick up any of JD's work, Unstoppable Comics, Okay. Also, there's just a whole bunch of stuff. This is Storm Chasers, but he does all kinds of stuff. Go to unstoppable.com. Check out his books. They are fabulous. Okay.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Again, we want to thank you for listening. This has been Comics by Night for the 3rd of March.
3rd of March. Soon be Christmas.
Deeply appreciate it. Yeah. And snap our fingers and it'll be Christmas again.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
Subscribe to the Indie Comics Network. Make sure you go visit that retailer. There's all sorts of great gems there, and your retailer could really use your visit, especially right now, especially considering how their Funko Pop business is falling through the floor. So, anyway.
I'm old. I have great insurance.
Dang, I need that book.
No more.
Yeah. Take care, everybody. We're gonna see you soon. We want to go out with the great words of Mr. Groucho Marx. It says the secret of life is honesty and fair dealing. If you can fake that, you got it made.
Yeah.
What a genius that bloke was, wasn't he?
Amazing. Right, everybody. See you soon. Take care.
See ya.
Not that one.
Not that
one.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration.
Total concentration.
Now, once again, this time with ewill.
Look, everybody's entitled to be an idiot.
Who cut the cheese, indeed.
The cuts are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all gravy, baby.
You certainly are, love.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comics Supply store. Use coupon code RAGIN10. That's RAGIN 10.
There we go.